Hey guys, what's going on? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a completely different type of video. I'm actually going to have to go back on my word that I made a year or so ago. For those of you that have been following me, you'll know that I am not a loafer man. Why was I never a loafer man? Well, a couple reasons. First off, my dad always wore loafers when I was a kid, and he always just destroyed them. Like he would step on the backs of them, and he just wouldn't really take care of them. And I always just thought they were sort of like not quite my aesthetic. I always felt more at home in a pair of boots, just coming into my own style and realizing like my preferences and things like that. That's not to say that I don't like the look. I do like the look, and to be honest, I was always sort of envious of dudes who could pull off the loafer and pull it off correctly, but I just never considered it for my personal style, if that makes sense. That's not to say that over the years I have been tempted by a pair or two, particularly the Ludlow loafers that J. Crew ran. They ran some in like several different colors, several iterations. Particularly, I was always intrigued by like the suede iterations, like the bourbon suede, the brown suede type. But again, it's just sort of like, it always just kind of threw me off as sort of like a Hugh Hefner type of a vibe, or even something you would wear with a robe, if that makes sense. So I just never really saw myself being a loafer guy. But during my recent visit down to Baroda, Michigan to meet the Grantstone team, which was just a fantastic visit, by the way. They're such a great group of guys, and I love to share my experiences on that. But while I was down there, Wyatt actually convinced me to finally try out some loafers. So I went ahead and I picked up this pair right here. These are Grantstone calls these the Traveler Penny in Dune Chrome XL. So Grantstone refers to their loafers as the Traveler. The reason being, and I'll read about that here in a second, but the reason being is during the design of it, that they say that their penny loafer was created with two things in mind: versatility and comfort. It's the ultimate shoe for travel. Given the ability to be paired with a sport coat or a t-shirt and most anything in between, we find ourselves wearing this shoe year-round, sockless with shorts, lightweight fabrics in the summer, and with cool socks and trousers through the winter, combining a forgiving upper leather and soft insole-outsole tannage. The Traveler Penny strikes the perfect balance of structure and support. Alright, so as I was mentioning, there were a couple things preventing me from trying loafers. The first being the style, just the look, the aesthetic of them. I never saw myself in them. Like I said, it's not that I didn't like the look, it's just that I didn't identify my personal style with this style of shoe. The other thing holding me back was, honestly, if you look at my boot collection, which is kind of outrageous at the moment, I kind of didn't want to go down a new avenue of collection. So knowing myself, how I collect boots, it's like knowing how I am. When I got my first pair of Alden Indies in brown Chrome XL, it turned into sort of like, well, I want an indie collection now. So it opens me up to collecting a new style, if that makes sense. And so this was kind of a style that I was dismissive of because I was afraid to like them, if that makes sense. I was afraid to like them because I knew that if I did, I would have to buy 10 more in several other colors, like I did with the indie, like I did with plain toe boots, like I've done with so many other things. Cap toes, it's like, okay, well, you get the brown Chrome XL Indy, now you need the 405 calfskin. Now you need the navy Chrome XL Indy. Now you need the color 8 shell cordovan Indy. Now you need the cigar Indy. All these things open up. And so that's why I was hesitant, mostly because I just didn't want a new thing to have to collect. Again, knowing myself, knowing my drive and my enthusiasm and my interest in this stuff, I didn't want an excuse to start buying a new type of a shoe because I already have so many boot styles. And so for my shoes particularly, I've kept it mostly to plain toe bluchers and long wingtip bluchers, and that's kind of where I've kept it. Well, I gotta say, now that I've tried the loafers, I haven't put them on yet. I've tried them on at the factory, but after having put them on and seeing some of the team wear theirs around. So for example, Wyatt, he wore his loafers the second day I was there with some dark denim, and they looked fantastic, obviously. And then Parker, he actually had this exact pair in Dune Chrome XL, and he wore those things. Oh man, the patina on his were incredible. He was wearing his with shorts, just with that, whatever, throwing them on without socks. And you could tell he really loved them and really just used the crap out of them, and they looked fantastic. While I was there, Wyatt, he sat me down. He gave me these in 8.5E. I didn't even realize they were an E width. When I put them on, I was like, oh yeah, that's the perfect fit. I was like, yeah, I thought that they were an 8.5D when he gave them to me. I'm like, I put them on, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my size. That's what I want. I'm like, yeah, the D width is definitely for me. And he's like, oh no, those are on an E width. I was like, oh my God, really? Yeah, it turns out that, their Alexander last, I think, does run a little narrow. So when he hooked me up with the E width, that's exactly my size. So I typically wear 8.5D in the Grantstone Leo last and the Grantstone Floyd last. The Leo last, perfect fit, 8.5D, and then this Alexander last, perfect fit, 8.5E. Going up a width was definitely necessary, I would say, for me, for my foot type, because I do have a wider foot, a larger instep, and so Wyatt really nailed it on my sizing. He didn't even bother to try to give me the D width because he just knows how this stuff fits so well. All of them are truly sizing experts there at the Grantstone warehouse, including Randy, Wyatt's father. In fact, what was really interesting was Randy was like, okay, so you wear 8.5D Leo last, right? He said, well, let me try something with you. So he went and he got a 7.5 triple E diesel boot in Saddle Tan Veg, which I already have the 8.5D version. He went and got, a diesel boot. He went down a full size in length and 2 sizes up in width. And he's like, and this is how you create basically a bespoke fit. And I put them on and I was like, whoa, yeah, they fit very well. And he's like, as you go up in width, actually the length increases just incrementally too. So I was able to get my foot in there and it felt pretty good. It looked really good too. And he said, don't sweat it. A lot of sizes can work for people. And he's completely correct. In fact, it reminds me of when Carl Morawski went on the Stitch Down podcast. He was talking about how I think him and I are basically the same size. He typically wears like a size 9, I think, in dress shoes, and he wears like an 8.5 in most boots. But when he got his custom, I want to say either Knicks or Whites, they did the same thing. They went down a full size. They gave him like a 7.5 triple E. Same sort of a thing. Go down a full size in the length and up 2 sizes in the width, and he said they're some of the best fitting boots that he owns. So it's just interesting, you can play around with sizes. You can go down, you could go down in length, increase the width, and it'll be a different feel, but it'll still work. So I just thought that was interesting. So Randy, he's a fit master, and in fact, Grantstone, they were considering doing like a Grantstone fit line that you can call anytime, Monday through Friday and talk to Randy, and he'll be happy to offer his insights into sizing and things like that. So I just thought that was really cool. But yes, I wound up walking away with some 8.5E loafers. I haven't worn these yet. I've only tried them on, but I am very, very excited to start wearing these. I can tell already I'm probably gonna if these end up working out, I'm probably gonna want 3, 4, 5 more pairs. But it's so beautiful. Like I took some outside shots just to so you can get a better idea of what they look like. But really a comfortable shoe, and I'll definitely be wearing these around the house as sort of like a slipper. But also I'll definitely be wearing these with shorts, and I'm actually excited because I don't always wear shorts, even when it's hot out, because I want to wear boots most of the time. So I'll throw on like stretch chinos, lightweight denim, and things like this. But now I feel that I could for sure say that I could wear these with any outfit. Shorts and a t-shirt, doesn't matter. Denim, they're extremely versatile, almost too versatile. And yeah, like I was saying, like Wyatt, he really loves the loafers. And he's sort of been, egging me on to try them out. And now that, he finally got me to, I can tell you that, okay, Wyatt, you win. Because they're amazing. I'm already looking at the navy. And in fact, I particularly, like I said, I really like their loafers in the suedes. I really like their espresso suede. I tried that one on. I really like their bourbon suede. Oh, in fact, if they have any in my size, I might jump on those. Their Loden suede is incredible. Yeah, let me see if they have my size. Bourbon suede, 8.5E. Looks like they do. Oh, wow. Whew. Those are sweet. Oh, man. Well, might have to grab it. We'll see. I want to walk around in these for a while. For the near future, I do intend to wear these with shorts and probably go sockless. I do like to wear no-show socks. I do feel a little strange going full-on sockless, but you know what? I might give it a try. Yeah, Wyatt is also a big fan of the tassel loafers. I don't know if I'm ready for those yet, but I think the penny loafer, the Traveler penny, is the sweet spot for me right now. Again, we all evolve with our shoe journey. We all learn and grow as time goes on, and I think I'm ready for the loafer. I'm gonna give it a honest shot. I'm very excited about them, to be honest, because they are so comfortable. They look damn good, and knowing that these are made out of Horween's natural Chrome XL just makes it all the better. I mean, just that buttery soft Chrome XL, and then it's built on that on the very supportive leather sole. Let's see, what do they have to say about it? Yeah, cork filler, steel shank, Alexander last, aniline Chrome XL by Horween, full grain leather kip lining from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, vegetable tan leather insole and welts. Leather sole, very supportive. It's thinner than the diesel boot. I don't think they included as many layers, so it's just got a little bit sleeker of a look. To be honest though, that's giving it a very well balanced look. I think if they were to include a sole with the thick sole like they do on the diesel, it might throw off the silhouette of the boot. It might look a little imbalanced. In fact, so here's a well-worn pair of diesel boots in the same leather from Grantstone. So you can see there that the soles are just a little bit thinner. Like, I want to say there's 2 layers of leather on the penny loafer and 3 layers of leather on the diesel boot. So yeah, you can see that there. Let me do an Alexander last comparison. So you can see around the stitch line what this is looking like. The diesel boot is in 8.5D, the penny loafer is in 8.5E, and you can see there that they probably look to be about the same width. I haven't looked at it myself. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. So I would say that if you typically wear a D width in the Leo last, then definitely keep the same length. Keep the same size, just go up to an E, because as you can see in the toe, they're about equivalent. And even then, with the E width, you can see this taper here in the waist, that it sort of hugs in a little bit more aggressively than the diesel does, than the Leo last does. So yeah, definitely if you want basically as close to an equivalent as you can get in the Alexander last on the loafer, then I would go up 1 size in width, and yeah, phenomenal fit. So yeah, but you can see like the difference in Chrome XL worn versus unworn. This is what these will look like here soon, hopefully, with enough wear and dedication. So I'm very excited to start wearing these. And again, yeah, such a great group of guys. Grantstone. And so here's the other thing about Grantstone is, you know, I know a lot of people they harp on the made in China thing, but I got a chance to meet, you know, Wyatt and his whole family. And Wyatt, you know, he walks the walk and he talks the talk. Literally, like, he is fluent in Chinese. I didn't realize he was as good at Chinese as he is. Like, hearing him speak, he basically sounds like a native almost. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, Wyatt straight up, he lived in China. He very much adopted the culture. He married somebody from there. In fact, shout out to Lulu, Wyatt's wife. She's the sweetest human being on planet Earth. She's a phenomenal cook, and they have just an amazing, beautiful family together. So shout out to her. And I have to thank her personally for her hospitality. She actually cooked for us, and it was wonderful. Grantstone is not just some business that outsourced their operations to China to save money. Wyatt and his family have had a long-term relationship with the factory there, and Wyatt really took that connection seriously, and he went and lived there for 8-9 years. You know what I mean? So this isn't just some guy trying to make a quick buck. You know, really, I think if anybody should be given a pass for made in China, it's Wyatt Gilmore. It's the Grantstone team, because, you know, they have their deep roots with Alden. Wyatt's grandfather worked for Alden for over 60 years. They're a shoe family. They take it very seriously. I think their connection to China is authentic. It's genuine. I would not go out saying that, oh, it's made in China, so don't buy it. I would not at all. The same thing would be like if you went to, you know, if you traveled from your hometown, say in Michigan, to England and formed a relationship with the factory there that makes, say, Trickers and Sanders and Alfred Sargent's. and then you wanted to create your own line and have that factory build it, it would be the same thing. You know, I know the made in China thing gets people hung up sometimes, but no, I'm telling you, like, this brand, they're amazing. Incredible group of guys, and they talk the talk, they walk the walk. They're the real deal. I'm not just saying that. I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm just an enthusiastic customer of Grantstones that wants to support them and wants to get the word out, because I really think that they're an incredible group of people. So what do you boot guys out there think of loafers? Like I said, I'm now 36 years old. I think I'm becoming an old enough man to where the loafer could be my thing, you know? So I'm excited. What do you guys think? I'll also leave a link to the Grantstone loafer page. Give that a look if you're interested. They've got a lot of good options on there, including navy chrome XL, including the different suede options. Really, really a wonderful lineup, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So, all right. In closing, actually, one question that I get a lot is, how do they feel? How do they look on foot? So here we go. I'm actually going to take a walk and give my thoughts, because after recording the video, I wore them all day. And I can tell you, Wyatt, actually, he's somewhat of a loafer expert. And for a couple years now, he's written about the nuances of how to size with loafers and what to expect when you wear them, whether with socks or sockless. In this case, I have a hard time going sockless, so I actually wear no-show socks with mine. But it's not to say I won't try it eventually, but at this point, I feel better with no-shows. And what he says is initially you might have a little bit of heel slip. Yes, I definitely experienced that with these for probably the first couple hours. I probably walked 3-4 miles in them, maybe 5. And the heel slip definitely alleviated. The heel slip is going to mostly be due to the firmness of the leather sole. So until the leather sole breaks in and starts to give, it might force your heel up a little bit as it's breaking in. Now, that said, after the first 2-3 hours, the heel slip completely went away. I would say the first time you wear them, if you want to prevent the heel slip 100%, is, I could tell you right now, if I had lightweight to mid-weight socks on, that wouldn't have been an issue as it rode up my heel. But yeah, and secondly, I'm very glad that he had me size up in width, because the instep on my right foot does hurt just a little bit. Now, that is going to go away. I know it's going to go away. Yeah, as with most like sleeker shoes, that's always my issue, is my instep. So yeah, my right foot in particular, my right foot's just a little bigger than my left. I do have a little bit of pain on my instep, but again, this is natural chrome XL. It will alleviate itself over time. So I just kind of wanted to give that first update and verify literally everything Wyatt has ever said about loafers. He's 100% correct about the sizing. You probably want to go up a size in width. And secondly, yeah, the heel slip, yeah, you'll have just a little bit of that at first. That's nothing to be worried about. Yeah, they're really breaking in nicely. I can't wait to, I bet probably by their 3rd or 4th or 5th wear, they're going to be just brilliant. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me there. My username is AeroSurferLV. And anyways, thanks a lot for watching. I will see y'all in my next video.